Fitness inspiration doesn't get more real than this. Jelly Roll is out here showing off a brand new body after shedding an absolutely jaw-dropping 200 pounds. And honestly, the transformation is nothing short of incredible. The country rap superstar, known for his authenticity, humor, and emotional storytelling through his music, is now telling a new story. One of redemption, self-love, and health. The kind that hits home because it's not just about losing weight, it's about finding life again. When Jelly Roll landed in Sydney on Tuesday for his highly anticipated Down Under tour, fans could barely recognize him at first glance. There he was, walking through the airport with the quiet confidence of a man who's put in years of work to reclaim his body and his peace of mind. Gone was the exhausted, heavier frame that once carried the visible burden of years of bad habits and pain. Instead, he looked vibrant, his steps lighter, his smile brighter, and his energy radiating in a way that made it clear this wasn't just about the numbers on the scale. It was about transformation on every level, physical, mental, and spiritual. Rocking a simple black hoodie and matching pants, Jelly Roll proved that confidence doesn't need flashy designer outfits. It's something you wear from the inside out. His slimmer frame popped effortlessly, and the glow on his face said it all. He looked like a man who had found joy in discipline, balance, and perseverance. Every photo and video clip from that Sydney airport moment captured something that words can barely express: peace. The kind of peace that only comes when you've been through the storm and decided to rebuild your life piece by piece. But make no mistake, this wasn't an overnight success story. Jelly Roll's transformation has been years in the making, and it's rooted in deep personal growth, pain, and commitment. For years, he battled obesity, addiction, depression, and the lingering scars of a rough past that included time behind bars and struggles with self-worth. At his heaviest, Jelly weighed around 540 pounds, a number that carried more than physical weight. It was a symbol of years spent numbing pain, avoiding self-care, and surviving instead of living. In 2023, something changed. Jelly Roll made a promise, not to his fans, not to the industry, but to himself. He said he was done letting his body and habits control him. He was going to take charge of his health and give himself a chance to truly live. And when Jelly Roll makes a promise, he follows through. He started small, focusing on cleaning up his eating habits, cutting out junk food, and staying consistent. He talked openly about the process, the setbacks, the cravings, and the reality of how hard it was to retrain his mind and body after years of poor routines. By January 2024, the world saw a different Jelly Roll. He was no longer just a country rap sensation. He was an inspiration. He began preparing for a 5K run, a monumental goal for someone who once found it difficult to even walk short distances without losing his breath. The training was tough, grueling even, but he stuck with it. He often shared glimpses of his progress online, sweating through early morning workouts, celebrating small wins, and reminding his fans that transformation doesn't happen overnight. It's built in quiet, painful moments when no one's watching. His wife, Bunny XO, who has been his biggest supporter throughout his journey, often cheered him on publicly, sharing how proud she was of his dedication and resilience. The couple's bond has been one of the most heartwarming parts of Jelly's journey. A reminder that behind every strong comeback story, there's often someone offering love, encouragement, and faith when it's needed most. Then came April 2025, a milestone moment that truly marked how far he'd come. During Pat McAfee's Big Night Out event, Jelly Roll proudly revealed that he'd officially dropped down to 357 pounds. The crowd's reaction was electric, but the most powerful moment wasn't the applause. It was the emotion in Jelly's voice as he spoke about how far he'd come. He talked about the discipline it took, the mental battles he fought daily, and the emotional toll of changing every habit that had once defined his life. Losing 200 pounds didn't just mean looking better, it meant saving his own life. For Jelly, this journey wasn't about vanity or fame, it was about survival. He had openly spoken about how he once feared not living long enough to see his dreams come true, or to be there for his family. He didn't want to become another tragic story, another artist gone too soon because of neglect and excess. He wanted to show his fans that it's never too late to start over, no matter how heavy the burden feels. Literally and figuratively. Every drop of sweat, every meal choice, every walk, and every mile run became part of something much bigger, a spiritual awakening. He learned to appreciate discipline, patience, and consistency. He began to view his body as a gift rather than a curse. He fell in love with feeling alive again, not just performing for the crowd, but performing for himself. Fans noticed the difference immediately. His stage performances became even more energetic and dynamic. He moved across the stage with confidence and purpose, connecting with audiences not just through his lyrics, but through his renewed presence. His music, always rooted in raw honesty, started to take on new layers of hope. The man who once sang about pain and regret was now singing about redemption and transformation. But Jelly Roll has never tried to hide the hard parts. He admits that some days are still tough, that cravings, fatigue, and moments of self-doubt still creep in. However, instead of letting those moments break him, he's learned to use them as fuel. He's become an advocate for mental health and wellness, encouraging his fans to not just focus on physical fitness, but emotional healing too. Because, as he often says, you can't fix the body without fixing the mind. His journey is a reminder that change isn't about perfection, it's about progress. The man who once doubted himself now stands as living proof that even when life seems too heavy to carry, you can always put one foot in front of the other and move forward. The road to where Jelly Roll is today has been long and difficult, but it's also been beautiful. He's learned the value of showing up for yourself every single day, even when no one's watching. He's learned that discipline is a form of self-love. And he's learned that sometimes the hardest battles are the ones you fight quietly, inside your own head. Now, as he embarks on his Down Under tour, there's a sense that Jelly Roll is stepping into a new chapter of his life and career, one that's about longevity, joy, and gratitude. He's not just performing for his fans anymore. He's performing as a man reborn, someone who's reclaimed his life and his power. It's wild to think about how far he's come, from a troubled kid growing up in Nashville, struggling with drugs and self-destruction, to one of the most beloved and relatable artists in the music industry today. Jelly Roll's story has always been about second chances, and now his transformation is proof that it's never too late to take yours. In interviews, he often talks about how surreal it feels to be living this new reality, how strange it is to see his reflection and not fully recognize himself, yet feel more like himself than ever before. He describes it as peeling back years of pain, addiction, and self-sabotage, layer by layer, until what's left is peace. He's also taken to inspiring others to start their own wellness journeys. Whether through social media posts, motivational speeches, or candid interviews, Jelly Roll's message remains consistent, that everyone deserves to feel good in their skin. He doesn't promote quick fixes or fad diets. Instead, he preaches honesty, patience, and resilience. He tells people that falling off track doesn't mean failure. It means you're still in the fight. Today, the world sees a Jelly Roll who's more confident, more grateful, and more focused than ever. His smile isn't just the result of weight loss. It's the reflection of a man who finally believes in himself. And for millions of fans who've walked similar roads of struggle, addiction, or self-doubt, his transformation isn't just inspiring, it's healing.